You're popping, gang. So, what? Four teens break out of jail. 5 people break out of jail in total. I don't know. We're gonna find out after this though. Cue the intro. Go lay down. Alright, so like I said, 4 teen killer held 4 murders escape. So I think I said that wrong in the beginning. So we're gonna act like it didn't happen. We're gonna like that ain't never happened, alright? Cool. Hold on. Go lay down. Damn dog, man. Lay down. Lay down. Alright. Where was I? Oh yeah. They escaped jail. So like I said, I think I said that wrong in the beginning. So we're gonna like it didn't happen. So like I said, we're gonna jump right into this thing. We already a minute over. So let's get right into it. Before we do that, remember like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. And when you subscribe, make sure you ring a little bell because we going to the top, baby. Ain't no looking back.
While the murder of YBC Josh was a devastating loss to the members of YBC, their rivals would soon be suffering a loss of their own after the killing of a teenager by the name of Buddy. The war would continue to escalate into the end of 2020, while numerous shootouts were happening between YBC and their various rivals, including Sydney from 39th Street. Other young members of YBC would be seemingly lurking in the streets, desperate to catch more of their ops lacking, ultimately leading to more senseless murders of seemingly harmless people. The next tragedy would strike on Christmas Eve, when on December the 24th, 2020, police responded to the 1800 block of Winwood Road after receiving a report of a person with a gun. They would attend the scene and find Daewoo Nai Sean Struggs, aka Woo Biddy, age 20, on the ground. He had been shot several times in the torso, and he would unfortunately be pronounced dead at 11:46 AM that day. He was actually an aspiring comedian, allegedly even filming a post for social media when he was killed, but some have suggested that actually he was killed after previously dissing his ops on social media, with prison YouTuber and snitch exposer 1090 Jake breaking down the case on his channel and showing the live that Scruggs was filming when he was shot.
He said, "These West dudes want to be my ops. Man, I only deal with Frankfurt shit. It don't involve me if it ain't Frankfurt."
When we shoot, you can't run when we shoot. I'ma smoke you. Real shit.
So obviously he has something going on in his own city and going on with West Philly, but still decided to walk through there when a man seen on video walked up with a gun out. Skinny can be heard exchanging words with the shooter. It sounds as if he's speaking from behind a mask, but you can hear him say, "What's up? Go ahead, bro." And you can even hear the shooter respond back saying, "Sup." Skinny quickly said, "We on live." And you can hear the panic in his voice as the shooter raised the gun.
What's up? Go ahead, bro. Bro, go ahead, I'm live.
6 shots can be heard on video while Skinny falls to the ground on the side of 1871 Winewood Road. Police found him lying in the grass, shot multiple times to the chest and head, and 15 minutes after the shooting, Skinny was pronounced dead at the hospital.
See, I don't try to make it seem like I'm a straight old head or something. But back when me and my partners, me and my dirties, me and my brothers, me and my partners, and you know what I'm saying, my dogs was out here doing whatever we did when we was teenagers and kids. I ain't gonna say teenagers, cause yeah, bro, cause even as teenagers, we didn't even play like that. We didn't play them internet games. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna talk to you on the internet regardless. We're not gonna talk to you on the internet. We're not gonna go live and walk through your block. We're not gonna go live and walk through on the wrong side. We barely going live on in the hood. We barely going live at the house. We barely going live where we know we safe. Or where we should be safe at. And we ain't got time to go live. Going live, y'all look at the phone and look at the comments and that's looking at the reading one comment, bro. Depending on how long it is, bro. That's 2 seconds. That's 2 seconds you ain't looking up. 2 seconds, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? God, man, we gonna be outside and play ball. You gotta play ball, man. You gotta play ball. You gotta play ball, man.
The crime would be broadcast following the incident.
And then tomorrow, we on live, bro. Like Like they were supposed to stop them or something. Like there was insurance or something. Like you try to put insurance on yourself. Like you walk through their block dissing them on live, and then once motherfucker get up on your top, stand on your neck, you want to get the screaming, oh, we on live, bro. Bro, don't care about that. They don't know who he is. 6 shots for you. Come here, Tupac, since you so tough.
Joys.
Get
Spring
it?
Scrubs keep
Tupac,
reliving
6
the murder of
shots.
her
I ain't get it.
grandson
That
on
one be out
Christmas
here.
Eve. And I lost my heart. That was
That one don't be out here, man.
Daewoo Scruggs loved his family. His last Instagram post was
And no, that was not a diss to Tupac. No, before y'all even get to going there, that was not no diss to Tupac. That was, like I said, that went over your head, that went over your head. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
him and his dad, who died 3 years ago.
1, 2 o'clock.
Daewoo also loved to make people feel good.
Daewoo would like hype me up. Like I would be in my room, he would come in there, he would hype me up. He like says you look cute.
The 20-year-old was an aspiring comedian. Now, the gunman who killed him has brought heartbreak to his family.
But he always knew like he had enemies. Like he always knew people didn't like him. He always knew. I never expected nobody to kill him.
Family members say Daewoo was walking to the bus stop to go to work at Home Depot. He got here to the intersection of Wynwood and Malvern. He was recording a video on social media. Then police say minutes later, an unknown man walked up to Daewoo and got into an argument with him. Seconds later, he pulled out a gun and shot Daewoo. It was all caught on video.
And ultimately, the suspect was caught on surveillance cameras committing the crime too, and it wouldn't take long for the authorities to identify him as 16-year-old Amin Hurst.
I was just
A
going
new
to say, did he get
surveillance video
caught?
from Philadelphia
Damn, he
police
went
shows
slow.
the moments which led to a Christmas Eve murder in Overbrook. The gunman, wearing a dark-colored puffy coat, following the victim, Daewoo Scruggs, along the 1800 block of Wynwood Road. As the two go off-screen, you hear a barrage of gunshots, the suspect then running away. 20-year-old Daewoo, an aspiring comedian, left for dead. Police are offering a $20,000 reward for his death.
However, before the cops would catch their suspect, Hurst would continue to commit violence in his community. On March the 11th, 2021, at 3:04 p.m., police responded to a shooting on the 1400 block of North 76th Street.
Oh, yeah, he was
Before
leaving
police
that
got
shit in
there,
the
4
streets.
people who had been shot made their way to a local hospital. Naquan Smith, 24, who was shot in the chest, arm and shoulder, was pronounced dead at 3:12 p.m. And Tamir Brown,
he was leaving
aka
that
Lil
shit in the
Mir
streets
from
for
0 to 4, age 16,
He
who
was
had been
leaving
shot
that-
several
yeah, he
times,
was leaving
was
it-
pronounced
he was
dead at
leaving it out there.
7:48 p.m. 2 more shooting victims, both 19 years of age, were placed in critical condition, but ultimately survived.
It was around 3
Hey, he
o'clock this
went
afternoon when
crazy.
police began
Hey,
getting
I
calls
ain't
about
gonna
shots
lie, he
fired
went
and people
crazy.
shot behind Woodcrest Garden condos at 1400 North 76th Street in Overbrook. Sky Fox broadens out the scene for us. Police at 2 different locations in the neighborhood, both littered with dozens of evidence markers. It's unclear exactly how many shots in all were fired or how many people were shooting. Police say a 24-year-old man shot died shortly after at the hospital. The others listed in extremely critical condition include men and teens ages 30, 19, and 16 years old.
Allegedly, this shooting that claimed 2 young lives was also carried out by Amin Hurst. Lil Mir from 0 to 4 was actually a rising rapper, and fans on Reddit were shocked by the news of his passing. And he had songs with other well-known rappers from his
Can we stop doing that, people? Bro, for real, though. Can we stop doing that? Like, when somebody died, can we stop acting like they victims and they were so sweet and they were such a nice person, such a good person? Can we stop doing that, bro? And we know what kind of life they live. Can we please stop doing that? Cause that's why I say I mess with fully on mama, because she did something Mama Duck didn't do. She knew what she knew what kind of life her son lived. She was ready for that. You know what I'm saying? Stop acting like these people is victims, bro. These niggas is victims, bro. These people is not victims, bro. Real deal. Oh, he knew somebody. Yeah, somebody want to kill your son. He out here dissing people on live. Yeah, if you talking about dead people, people gonna want you dead or unalive. You talking about unalive people? My bad. I can't say that. I can't say that word. I guess if you talking about somebody that's unalive, somebody gonna want to unalive you. Yes, that's how they go. Sorry.
his area like Lil Bucks. Lil Mir had appeared in an interview the previous year where he spoke on West Philly streets being a war zone and being a member of 0 to the 4.
So, man, 0 to the 4.
So it's a lot going on in the city, you know, current times, you know, a lot of killing going on.
Bro, I don't know how to put it. If you know, you know. That shit been bad, you hear me? That shit been bad. If you know, you know. That shit been bad, though. Word to all my yo. Been bad. That's all I can say.
You a young artist coming up. I mean, you 16, know what I mean? So you real young, know what I mean? Fresh in the game, know what I mean? So you say you from, you know, 64th Street, y'all call that 0 to the 4. I mean, explain that for the people who ain't.
My bad, yeah. Had to handle
All
something.
right, okay, yeah, go ahead.
My ties for real. We all grew up together, you dig me? When we was young, it wasn't nothing like how it is now. Just know it's a war zone in the whole west side. That's all I'm gonna say.
But you see what I'm saying, though?
Every block in West Philadelphia.
But we
He would
supposed to
explain
feel
that life
bad
got
for
rough
him,
for him
right?
after his mother died when he was in 2nd grade, and that he's been in the streets providing for himself ever since.
I won't lie, like, it got rough as I got older. Like, when my mom died in 2012, I think I was in, like, 2nd grade or something. That's when it started getting rough, because she used to bust her ass for me, do whatever. To give me that shit. It just got bad. And she left me and shit. That's all.
Clearly, he was himself deep involved in the gang war, ending that interview saying F the ops.
All right, man, is there anything else you want to let the people know? Anything else you want to clarify, address, you know what I mean, before we get up?
Man, yeah.
We not gonna say no names. All right, man. Free the free Ghost, free DK, free Simon.
So after this tragic double murder, Amin Hurst was building a formidable reputation in the streets, having killed 3 people in less than a year, but it wouldn't be long until he claimed another life. As I mentioned previously, one of YBC's most dangerous enemies was a 39th Street shooter by the name of Sid. Members from YBC would receive false info that Sid was getting out of prison on March the 18th, 2021, and a man named Rodney Hargrove was killed within an hour of leaving the prison in a case of mistaken identity. After this, the police would finally catch up with Amin Hurst and unravel the details of his deadly crime spree. On March the 20th, 2021, Amin Hurst was arrested and charged as an adult with the murder of Daewoo Nashawn Scruggs that took place on Christmas Eve 2020. Then on April the 21st, Hurst was re-arrested and charged in the double murder of both Naquan Smith and Tamir Brown. And then finally, he was charged with the final murder of Rodney Hargrove outside the prison on the 28th of April 2021.
Tonight, Philadelphia police say this 16-year-old is responsible for a months-long reign of gun violence which left 4 people dead, including a man who was a victim of mistaken identity. Investigators say Amin Hurst was the gunman who shot and killed a 20-year-old man on Christmas Eve. In March, they say he was responsible for killing 2 people in a quadruple shooting. And a week after that shooting, investigators say Hurst shot and killed Rodney Hargrove just after Hargrove was released from jail. Police say Hargrove was not the intended victim.
An NBC 10 Philadelphia news report would air identifying Amin Hurst and the 4 murders he had allegedly committed.
I bet you he
Police now
was.
say
If he wasn't, he was.
16-year-old Amin Hurst was the one who.
Look, I'm gonna say this: even if he wasn't the intended target, if he couldn't get who he was trying to get, he was the intended target. Y'all don't be, boy. Hey, I'm telling you, man.
Pulled the trigger on that aspiring comedian. On March 20th, Hurst was arrested and charged in that murder. But in between Scruggs' murder and those charges, there was another shooting. That time, 4 people were shot in a car. 2 of them died. Last week, Hurst was charged with those murders, and while he was behind bars, police took a closer look at a gun connected to him. That's when they discovered that gun was connected to another unsolved murder that we told you about as breaking news right after it happened in March. A 20-year-old man who'd just been released from jail was gunned down on the grounds of the Curran Fromhold Correctional Facility. Police say it appears as though that man was the tragic victim of mistaken identity. Now, Hurst, he may be a teenager, but it certainly did take some time for the authorities to track him down. The fugitive team, as well as the U.S. Marshals, they were searching for him. They say he was aware that they were looking for him, and he was going from place to place. He is now in custody and facing charges as an adult.
However, the police wouldn't easily take him off the streets. In one of the wildest turn of events I've ever seen in a case so serious, Amin Hurst actually managed to escape jail and go on the run 2 years later. The 19-year-old convict executed a daring escape along with another convict named Nasir
that's what
Grant.
this video's
News
about.
reports would break down the facts, explaining that the combination of an unrepaired fence, switched off motion sensors, and a sleeping guard allowed Hurst and Grant to slip away undetected.
The DA showed video of Amin Hurst and Nasir Grant walking out of their cells at around 8:30 at night and then crawling on their bellies to a door to escape. Krasner says another inmate who was also out of his cell was their lookout. Krasner said it only took them 90 seconds to get out. He also revealed that a hole in the fence at the jail that the pair was able to sneak through had been there for about 7 weeks. Krasner says prison officials knew about the hole, looked at it days before the escape, but nothing was done. We have a crew going through more of Krasner's revelations, including why the counts of prisoners were the same after the escape and how officials really learned 2 inmates had made made it out. That's coming up starting today at 4 o'clock.
According to later reporting,
Hey,
once the
dude was
escapees got
on
through the
that.
fence, they jumped in an Uber and headed to South Philly, apparently all with the help of a woman and fellow gang member who organized their transition into hiding. Following the escape, a manhunt was launched in an effort to capture the escaped convicts, with a reward being offered as reported on CBS News Philadelphia.
Developing this morning, an active manhunt for 2 inmates who escaped from the Philadelphia Industrial Correctional Center. Take a look. As the search pushes forward, law enforcement officials are looking for answers about how the pair were able to break out in the first place.
The first one is 18-year-old Amin Hurst. He has been charged with 4 separate murders, including one right here on State Road in Northeast Philadelphia back on March of 2021. The other inmate is 24-year-old Nasir Grant, who has been charged with drug and gun offenses. Now, according to the Department of Prisons commissioner, these 2 inmates were housed in the same unit of the correctional center, but they were not cellmates. She says they were both accounted for at 8:30 on Sunday night, but then they missed each of the next 3 head counts, one at 11 o'clock on Sunday night, and then 2 more at 3 and 7 o'clock on Monday morning. She says it appears that they were both at the prison during those times, but she is wondering why they weren't listed as missing since they weren't present during those head counts. Mayor Jim Kenney calls it a major failure of our prison system.
The number one responsibility right now is to get these guys off the street. And any information that any folks can provide us, there's, I believe, a reward on each of them for $20,000 each for information leading to their arrest. So that's job number 1. Job number 2 is to get the Pennsylvania Department of Corrections in here and assess the system. Clearly, the system's screwed up. And people didn't do what they're supposed to do. It's clear.
The escape was a scandal for the Philadelphia Industrial Correctional Center and led to a review of the facility by the Department of Corrections.
According to this report, the prison did submit a plan of action, and these observations were expected to be addressed. Repairs to the outside wall were scheduled for spring of this year. Now, the mayor said today that the prison is now under review by the State Department of Corrections.
Somebody conducted 3 bed checks and either can't count or could count and did something wrong.
Well, earlier this month, last week actually, the police said that the inmates were caught on video cutting a hole in the fence to make their break and were not noticed as missing until the next day. That's despite 3 head counts by prison staff.
In the time the fugitives were on the run, Philly residents were said to be living in fear, terrified of the prospect of a quadruple murderer walking amongst them.
Where we are is about 2 to 3 blocks from that prison where those inmates escaped. And if you look around me, I'm in a playground. Right next to me is a recreation center, and directly across the street are homes. We knocked on several of those doors, and neighbors say this whole situation is scary. In this Holmesburg neighborhood, residents have their eyes out for 2 wanted men. Have you seen these 2 faces?
I've seen them on the news, yes.
Get a good look.
The one guy looks real familiar.
He's referring to 18-year-old Amin Hurst, accused of 4 murders. The other is 24-year-old Nasir Grant, who was being held on drug and gun charges. Police say the 2 inmates escaped from the Philadelphia Industrial Correctional Center Sunday night. The prison is within miles of schools, playgrounds, and neighborhoods like these, where neighbors we spoke to say they're feeling a bit uneasy about what happened in their backyard.
What are the police doing about it? What is, the mayor doing about that? Because people are at risk. Now you're talking about potential violent people being out on the street.
It doesn't make me feel comfortable, seeing that someone can break out of a prison, especially with someone that has murder charges and are really just a danger to society.
It is scary, but I feel like when they escape from the prison, I don't think they want to stay.
If y'all real Peso gangins, don't even say it, because y'all thinking what I'm thinking. Leave that man alone. Leave that man alone and let him do his interview.
Most tell us living so close to a prison has never been an issue until now.
Somebody dropped the ball.
For these neighbors, what happened is only adding another layer of concern for crime in Philadelphia.
Soon, District Attorney Larry Krasner would comment around the time of a hearing on the escape, warning about failings in the prison system, with staff saying that they were suffering due to understaffing.
Staffing shortages, cameras that don't work, motion detectors that have been turned off, and a guard who is asleep. The DA says all of this aided in the escape of 2 dangerous men.
Like, how tired was that
Larry Krasner
guard?
says he's not blaming anyone, as he pointed out. There were multiple failures, he says, that puts the city in danger.
Canada geese, in the absence of a dog, were landing in the dog run. And when they landed in the dog run, they were setting off the sensors. And when they were setting off the sensors, eventually someone decided to turn them off.
And while those sensors, the DA says, were not picking up movement, they were helpful as the inmates used them to climb up over the fence.
After his escape, people on the Philly Wiki subreddit would speculate on what they would do if they were in Hearst's shoes. Some said he should go to Florida and flee for Cuba or another country with bad relations with the US, with people saying he's not making it out the country and that he should get off the grid. Others said that he has no escape and that US Marshals would find him on the moon. Some people pointed out that whoever helped him is in big trouble, while others said that he was probably just in one of his homies' basements and probably looking for the person that killed his sister in the parking lot last year. Unfortunately for Hearst, he didn't have the creativity that some of these Redditors did, and it turned out that he wasn't actually hiding far from where he came from. And just 10 days after his daring escape, he would be taken into custody by US Marshals in a standoff caught on camera and broadcast on Fox 29 Philadelphia. Following the arrest, NBC 10 Philadelphia would report on the capture, broadcasting the footage of Hearst getting in a car just before his arrest.
Pictures show U.S. Marshals officers taking Amin Hearst into custody early this morning, 10 days after the 18-year-old and another man escaped from a Philadelphia prison. Home security camera shows what appears to be Hearst walking near 61st and Washington Streets. This is in the Cobbs Creek section of West Philly. Robert Clark with the U.S. Marshal's Office says Hearst got into a vehicle along with two family members. As that vehicle pulled off, officers went after it. Both inmates now, Hearst and Nazir Grant, are back in custody after officials say they cut a hole through a fence at the Philadelphia Industrial Correctional Center and escaped.
It's something that we take pride in, that in 10 days we were able to get two escapees in custody without any use of force.
Apparently, he was found at his aunt's house, with people in disbelief that he would decide to stay in Philly after his escape. His brother and 3 other people would be charged for assisting the escape, as reported on CBS News Philadelphia, which explained that someone from his own family actually called the police with a tip.
After 10 days on the run and a search that spanned 3 different states, tonight Amir Hearst is back behind bars.
The people here.
Oh, y'all definitely shouldn't take pride in that, then, because y'all cheated. Y'all ain't catch them the right way. Y'all had a tip. Y'all cheated. They ain't cheat. They won't keep tabs on y'all. Y'all cheated.
Cobbs Creek, how could this happen?
Wednesday night, community leaders went door to door talking to concerned Cobbs Creek residents after they learned 18-year-old Amin Hearst was arrested by U.S. Marshals near 61st Street and Washington Avenue more than a week after escaping from a Philadelphia correction center. During a news conference, Supervisory Deputy U.S. Marshal Robert Clark says they got a break in the case when someone from Hearst's family called them Tuesday night.
We identified Hearst coming out of a house on the 6100 block of Washington Avenue and enter a vehicle with 2 family members. At that time, a vehicle containment was conducted as the vehicle tried to pull off the block, and Hearst was identified and taken into custody without incident.
Hearst's brother, Amir Woods, was also arrested on Wednesday for helping Hearst and 24-year-old Nasir Grant escape. Grant was recaptured in North Philadelphia last Thursday. 3 additional people have also been charged in aiding with the escape. Tonight, the investigation continues.
And Amin Hearst would now be facing escape charges on top of the original 4 murders, with phone calls organizing the escape being recorded and played in court along with the video of the escape.
4 of the 6 people facing charges in connection with the Philadelphia prison escape appeared in court today. Amin Hearst and Nasir Grant escaped from the Philadelphia Industrial Correctional Center on May 7th of last year. 4 people, Michael Abrams, Yanni Stalling, Jose Flores Huerta, and Amir Woods, are facing charges for their alleged roles in the escape and the aftermath. The details of the case were laid out during today's hearing. The prosecution played 2 calls. They say Hearst made to Abrams and Stalling from prison right before he escaped. Hearst was being held on charges of murder. In the calls, Hearst tells them, quote, "I'm going to get the expletive out of here." The prosecution then showed video of the 2 men escaping the facility. Flores Huerta, a fellow prisoner, stood by and watched as they left their rooms, crawled through a common area, out the door, and then through a hole in a fence. Once out of the correctional center, surveillance video shows the 2 prisoners get into an Uber ordered by Stalling. The prosecution says cell phone data shows Stalling, Abrams, and Amir Woods, who was the older brother of Amin Hearst, knew about the escape and hindered the apprehension of both men. The prosecution says a motor vehicle search for Amir Woods' car shows he drove to New York the day after the escape. Officials previously said his younger brother made it to New York City and back to Philadelphia before he was recaptured. Woods, Abrams, and Flores Huerta will be arraigned next month on charges including escape and conspiracy.
The woman who helped him organize the Uber would actually end up getting 11 to 23 months in prison for assisting the escape.
A woman has admitted to helping 2 inmates escape from a Philadelphia prison last year. Ziani Stallings was sentenced to 11.5 to 23 months in jail after pleading guilty yesterday. Prosecutors say Stallings helped Nasir Grant and Amin Hurst break out of the Philadelphia Industrial Correctional Center in May of 2023.
Ultimately, Amin Hurst is still awaiting trial for his 4 murder charges. And considering how brazen he'd been not only with the murders, but also the bold escape, it wouldn't surprise me if the judge really threw the book at him. But ultimately, even with one of the most prolific shooters off the streets, authorities
they can do
far
death
from
penalty,
stopping
he over
violence.
with.
And yet more murders would play out over the summer of 2021, with yet more YBC members being tied to the crimes.
Sheesh. Like I said, man, that was an inside job. Definitely an inside job, for sure, for sure. But nah. Tell me drop in the comments what y'all think and how y'all feel about it, man. I feel like dude went on the rampage. I feel like dude went live. I ain't gonna lie, I actually forgot what this video is about because we got to talk about. We all got to talk about how many bodies he got and all. And I forgot that we was talking about him breaking out of jail. But no, I feel like dude that went live. You know what I'm saying? He was dissing, walking through dude. You know what I'm saying? Area. You know what I'm saying? Dissing, acting hard, Tony Tough. You know what I'm saying? Big bad wolf. You know what I'm saying? Billy Badass. And bro saw him, and he, like I said, he thought saying, "Oh, I'm gonna lie, bro, it's gonna stop him." No, he was already on a rampage. He knew what he was gonna do when he woke up that morning. Like, I'm finna, you know what I'm saying? So, nah. So yeah, motherfucker, man. If y'all agree with me, you know what I'm saying? Drop it in the comments. If y'all don't, drop it in the comments. You know what I'm saying? If you like this motherfucker. If you dislike it, dislike this video, but make sure you leave do some type of reaction, because this is a reaction. So a reaction for a reaction. And it helped me get better as a reactor. But yeah, I feel like dude went crazy and did what he wanted to do, did what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think they said something about his sister getting shot or killed or something like that. So that, I mean, hey. That's a reason. That's the reason right there. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But that's it for this one, man. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, or like I said, if you dislike it, dislike it. Share, like, subscribe, ring that little bell so you can get all the post notifications, because I will be dropping things about my merch and different things coming up and different things I'm going to be doing and different things I'm going to be starting and all of that good stuff. So make sure you just ring that bell so you can stay in tune. And that's it for us, man. So we gone. You dig?